When are the lies going to stop? When are they going to stop? The longer you lie to yourself, the longer you put off your evolution in this lifetime. Because you are the only person that you cannot lie to. Because your subconscious mind knows the truth. It knows when you're full of shit, and it knows when you're being honest. So the longer you put energy into trying to convince yourself that you're okay, trying to convince yourself that you love yourself just the way you are, you have massive energy leaks. Because it knows the truth. It knows you want better. It knows you want to be more. And it also knows every single time you tried, you gave up. You didn't follow through. You didn't see it to the end. You didn't get your results quick enough, so you threw in the towel. Instead, you should have been focused on creating the individual and let the results come when they come. People who are results driven, they're like sparks and they die out. But if you chase the feeling's there all the time. And that's what's going to keep you going on the tough days. That's what's going to keep you going when you don't feel like it. Because you're doing it to chase the feeling, the actual real pride, the real fulfillment in bettering yourself. That's where I got it fucked up. When I was hooked on drugs, drinking, in and out of jail, in and out of prison, in and out of rehabs, I accepted that for my life. That's where my standard was for my life. Because I would try and get clean for a little bit, and then I would relapse. And then I would do it again, and then I would relapse. I wasn't putting enough effort in. I thought that once I started getting clean, that I just wouldn't have bad days anymore. I thought everything would be smooth. I'd never be upset anymore. I'd never feel lonely. I'd never feel anxiety. I'd never feel depressed. Just because I wasn't doing drugs anymore. That's how delusional some of you guys are out there. You think once you make the decision for a better life, that life's gonna stop being life. Life comes with problems. You don't want a life with no problems because the problems are what makes us. You want a life where you're strong enough to face whatever problems come your way. Because today, that's the mentality I have. I know that every single problem that's put in my path is put there to strengthen me. It's put there so that I can overcome it and continue to grow. Because every time I made it through a problem, I met a new version of me that did not exist before that problem came into my life. And when you know that deep in your soul, you welcome problems with open arms. And you continue to push through. See, I've coupled comfort with regression. So anytime I get too comfortable, it's a slippery slope. I know those old thought patterns start coming back. Old behaviors start coming out. Next thing you know, I'm self-sabotaging all over again. Because I allow that to creep in. You can't allow the stuff to creep in that you're trying so hard to run away from. You have to continue to put the work in. You have to welcome problems with open arms. You can't sit there and wish for things to get better and not put action there. You have to put action in. There's nobody on this planet that says, oh, I wish I can wake up tomorrow more fatter. I wish I can be more overweight tomorrow. I wish I could have less money in my bank account. I wish I could be less respected by my peers. Nobody does that. Nobody. So you can't say that there's never room for growth. If you know that discomfort equals progress, you will continue to do stuff intentionally that is difficult every day because you are practicing for when life really throws something your way and that test really comes, because you're ready to stare it in the eyes and say, bring it on, motherfucker. Because you've been practicing that. You've been habitually constructing an individual who is ready to take on all challenges. But in order to habitually construct an individual like that, you have to be 100% in all of your endeavors. All of them. Because settling is not the way to go. And settling is across the board. You either stretch yourself into growth or you settle into regression. There's no other way around it. And once you realize that you have the power to change that, your whole world changes. If you go through life half-assing your work, half-assing your relationships, half-assed in all of your endeavors, when that opportunity comes that you've been waiting for, that you've been praying for, you can think that you'll give 100% because it's finally here, but it's impossible to do that because you've been a 50% individual everywhere in life for God knows how long. So what's going to happen when that opportunity comes? You're going to give it 50%. And it's going to slip through your fingers. Because you've been habitually constructing a 50% individual your entire life. Start with the small things, the seemingly insignificant things. Your wake-up time, your diet and nutrition, your physical activity, your reflection and positive thinking. You put weight into those things and you continue to check them off the list every single day, your confidence is going to soar. You're going to finally show you that you're really about this. Because you're the one that you have to convince, not anybody else. You are your biggest critic. You are your biggest enemy. You're the one you have to convince that you can do this. How do you do that? You set yourself up for success. You create daily non-negotiable tasks and you adhere to them like the plague. No matter what, you get these tasks done. That's going to show that you honor yourself, you respect yourself, and you're committed to continuing to be the best version of you, no matter what. And what's that going to do for your peers? It's going to want them to elevate themselves. It's going to inspire people. You're finally going to be leading people from the front by example, instead of being that shy little bitch in the corner wishing he was better. You got to make a decision for a change. And you have to stop lying to yourself. The more knowledge I acquire, the more I understand I don't know anything. I don't know anything. But that's the beautiful thing about it. Because there's always something to learn. The thing about this personal development journey is there's no destination. You're never going to reach a spot in life where you can throw your hands up and say, I did it. I'm fully developed. It doesn't work like that. And I'll tell you what, in the beginning of that journey for me, that was the scariest part about it. Because I didn't know who I was without the drugs and the alcohol and the toxicity and the selfishness and the self-centeredness and the ego. I had been that way for so long. I didn't know who I was without it. So having to strip myself of that and completely rebuild from the bottom up scared the shit out of me. But I did it. And I continue to do it. See, I realized quickly, the more work I put in on myself, the better my life gets. I put more work in, my life gets even better. So I continue to work on myself. And guess what happens? My life continues to get better. So the fact that there is no destination is now the most exciting thing about this journey. But you have to be willing to take the chance and make that choice for yourself. Let's go.